What is up, Eggy Wegg Nation? I'm your host for today, Henry. Unfortunately, Mass is not with us today. He's busy, but I asked my friend Woo-Jin if he wanted to join, and he was up for it. So
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Woo-Jin. Um,
yeah,
do you guys
of
think I'd
course.
win the twerk-off?
Um, I don't know, maybe.
Let me
Anyway,
know what you guys think in the comment section below.
Jim. Can I call you Jimmy, by the way?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think we're on
So
close enough terms.
This is Jimmy's recommendation this time.
Yeah, I'm not in this one actually, like believe it or not.
Yeah. This
They actually
film's actually
cut me.
Japanese, not Korean.
Yeah, they cut me from the final version because the director kept telling me to put clothes on, but I didn't
Yeah.
really want to listen, so um they had to like remove me from the final version. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so this is my pick, my first pick on the podcast. Um, yeah, Pure 1997, directed by Kurosawa, not the Kurosawa you may be thinking of,
No.
not the legendary Akira Kurosawa, because that boy dead, that boy
That boy
dead
dead
as
as
hell.
hell. But like this Kurosawa's pretty cool. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is a
He's pretty
Kiyoshi
cool.
Kurosawa, mostly known for his creepy little horror
Mostly
thriller
known for
flicks.
Cure, to
Yeah,
be
mostly
honest.
known for Cure.
But I mean
Um,
he's made other stuff that like people have seen, but something I didn't oh my god. Something I didn't even know I actually looked up. He directed, it's not even like a well known or like respected movie really. He directed Sweet Home, which is like a movie from the late 80s, which,
I've never heard of it.
well, yeah, the movie itself isn't well known. The bit that's well known it is that I think it was Konami in like the late 80s, early 90s, whatever, turned it into like a Japan only kind of like NES game,
Shit.
which was like really like really influential on like the horror genre, and it ended up being kind of like a blueprint for Resident Evil.
Oh fuck, that's
Um,
pretty cool.
yeah, so like the movie, like no one cares about, but this random like game that's based off it is like really it's like weirdly influential, even though like no one outside of Japan knows it exists.
That's cool as fuck. I may be
Mm.
totally off the mark here because I never played Resident Evil, but like,
I never have either. I just know about it.
yeah,
But that
this movie did low key
this
give me
shit.
Resident Evil vibes. Like, just the vibe of it. Maybe I'm
True.
thinking of Silent Hill. I don't know, like one of the two. I just fuck.
Yeah, probably Silent Hill,
Yeah,
to be
the
honest.
aesthetic of it is really cool.
Although
Um,
I've played neither
yeah, I'm a
neither.
filthy
I don't know.
fucking casual. I'm not familiar with either. But yeah, I watched one of his. I watched Pulse, which is like his. I don't know how many horror movies he's made, but that's like his really like. There's no even like not even like a thriller aspect to it. Like it's just straight horror. It was pretty good. Not as good as this movie though. It's pretty well known. There's like a really popular video essay on it. I actually knew about like his movies technically before I watched Cure. Uh, a whole like essay about Pulse, which is pretty popular and it's like pretty good video.
Okay,
But um, yeah, it talks a lot about like his use of how he uses horror in his films. It's pretty interesting.
that's cool.
But
Yeah, looking through his filmography. Sorry, were you gonna say something?
no, you can continue.
Ah, looking through his filmography. And yeah, I noticed like a lot of like kind of modern. I say modern, like within like the past 30 years ish. Japanese directors. One, he's made like a shit ton of movies.
Yeah,
Um, that's another thing. I think like what's that guy Takeshi? I don't know how you say his name. Takeshi like Miike or something.
yeah.
Him. Um, the he's made like 100 movies,
Yeah, shit
and
ton.
like most of them no one's seen. But he's
Yeah, and
made
if
like a
they
hundred
are out
movies,
there, they're like in 480p.
and like this guy Kurosawa, he's made at least like 40.
Yeah, a lot of movies.
And like a lot of like modern Japanese directors, it's a lot of like scary or man man with gun.
pretty much. Yeah,
Yeah.
or sometimes a mix of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, funnily, I think I read somewhere that like he struggled to get Cure made. Like he watched a lot of horror movies,
I'm not
like a lot of
surprised.
American horror movies, when he was starting out, and that like really influenced Cure. And like it only when American horror movies started really getting popular was he able to get the funding for this movie. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
I have a pretty interesting experience with this movie. First watch, I really liked it, but I don't even remember when I first watched it. It was like a while ago. Um, and then kind of on a
I
whim,
can
I
look that up
decided
right
to
now.
do it. Yeah, this is your first time watching it. I kind of like on a whim I just decided to do it for this episode because I don't know. I kind of just like felt like rewatching it. I remember it being a pretty cool movie. And then on second watch, like it really blew me away. Honestly, like this is genuinely like maybe like a. It's a little early to say, but might be like a top 25 movie for me. This is a spoiler
Yeah,
alert
yeah. I
for
saw
my
you
overall
put in
thoughts. But
like your top 25, I think.
yeah, yeah, I was
Yeah,
very
okay.
very
Yeah,
impressed by
February
it.
February 2023, so over 2 years ago.
God fucking damn,
There are
that's
so
fucking
many,
crazy.
to be fair, there are so many movies now that I'm like, oh my god, I haven't seen that in like 3 years.
Yeah,
Some of my favorite movies as well. When was the last time I watched Holy Mountain? It's got to be
fuck,
like
that's weird to
so
think
long
about.
ago.
Yeah, I remember we
Yeah.
watched it like VC.
Yeah, we watched it in VC. That was like 2022.
Fuck me, dude.
That's like so long ago. That's almost 3 years.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a long time since
Oh
I
my
like
god,
sometimes I
it
forget I
feels
just
like a
got
long time to
into
me.
yeah
It
like
feels like a decade.
yeah because we just got into movie. Well, I mean, you got into it more 2021, but
Yeah, but yeah,
2022
like
is when I
late
really got into it.
2021 was when like I started getting serious about it, and like I was like watching a movie like most days, which is more than I do now, but it's
Yeah.
whatever. I've got more shit going on.
Hmm.
I don't have
I
much of
don't
an
know if
excuse.
I don't know if me watching more movies um like helped in me like getting more used to this because I remember like first watch I thought I liked it but I thought the pacing like the movie was a little too slow for me um
I
like
mean,
obviously now I
by
don't
this
think that
point,
at
you were
all.
already like a Moonlight boy, and
Yeah, no, that's true. I guess the pacing didn't really vibe with me. Uh,
yeah,
but like now that I've like rewatched it, I think the pacing's like amazing. I think it's one of the best things about it, and it makes sense. But I guess I should like get into the plot
I should
a
say
bit.
I thought
Yeah, continue.
I liked I loved the pacing overall. I think there were some bits I found a bit unengaging, just a
Mm,
little bit. Not like I've heard some people be like it's so boring. First off, I didn't find it boring. But I find bits and pieces here and
mm,
there a
yeah,
little hard to focus on.
yeah, for
But
sure.
there are certain bits, especially that like oh my god, that like third quarter of the film is
So
like
good.
just fucking that third that like bit that section of the film is like if I was just rating that, it'd be a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that part's
I'll be
fucking
honest.
cool.
It might be on another watch. Oh, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself there, but
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
I
but
definitely need to. I
sweet,
need to
sweet.
watch it again. I need to watch it again. There's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, in my experience, it definitely improved a lot. I'm on rewatch. But like, okay,
Mm.
just like to give a basic like rundown of the plot. It's really simple, like on paper. It's basically just about this this detective who basically starts tweaking and going on a downward spiral because this guy named Makima is or I'm sorry, what is it? Makia? I'm really bad with the names.
No,
Mamiya, that's it.
it's Mumia. Yeah.
We literally had a fucking rundown on this before the fucking
Yeah.
podcast and we still fucked it up.
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
fucking damn it. Yeah, Mamiya is going around basically like hypnotizing people and getting them to like murder other people. And pretty much Takabe just has to figure out like one who the killer is, which he discovers like, like halfway through the film. And then like figure out like the why pretty much. And then that leads him to discover some pretty dark secrets about himself and also other people. And it's yeah, it's pretty interesting. One
Every
thing
time you
I did
say Takabe, I'm pretty sure it'd be. I don't know if it'd be Takabe or Takabe or
Takabe.
whatever, but it keeps sound. It sounds like God. I can't. Whenever you say that, I just hear Taco Bay. Do you remember that thing
Yeah,
from like nine
Taco
years ago?
Bell.
The guy, no, Taco Bay. Do you remember that thing from 9 years ago? The guy, the oh no, that was I'm an idiot. That was Salt Bay. That
Oh,
like
really?
ancient meme of the guy sprinkling the salt.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
remember that guy. He has
yeah.
restaurants and shit.
Does he? I
Yeah,
mean,
he
I
yeah
guess I'm
he
not
owns
surprised.
restaurants, and he hires
He
like
looks
body
like he has a
doubles to like
restaurant.
impersonate him and sprinkle salt on people. It's really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a. I don't know about you, but I actually like. I didn't intend this like at all, but like watching this movie, I was reminded of No Country for Old Men a bit. Not only like some of the execution in terms of like how the movie utilizes like sound or like the cinematography, but also just like some of like the more thematic aspects of it, which we'll get into a bit
Do you know what?
in a
You
bit.
told me about that before I watched the movie, and even knowing that, I didn't really see it. But like actually thinking back on some of the scene, more less so about the scenes themselves, but like the way the movie is kind of structured, where you kind of immediately know, well, not immediately in the case of Cure, but like you find out who the killer is pretty
Yeah.
early on. It becomes pretty
Mhm.
pretty obvious, which I actually like. I like that it's not just a mystery the whole time because it lets you like it doesn't they obviously it doesn't tell you, but like it becomes there's a point where it's like, oh, okay, it's really obvious
Mhm.
this guy's the killer.
Yeah, yeah, right.
And so it just let and so from then on it just lets it become like the scene, some of his scenes, like before he meets the main character, it lets his scenes become like a study of the character
Yeah.
and like how his hypnosis works. It's really cool. It's really
Mhm.
cool.
No, I agree. I think like in general, you could like you could like draw some parallels between Anton and Mamiya just in the way that they represent like some larger evil and like thematic ideas
Oh
about the
yeah,
story.
true. I hadn't thought of
But
that.
yeah, yeah. But um I guess just to start with, like one thing that really stood out to me
Sorry,
was like
I was gonna mention actually,
yeah,
about. I guess it's not exactly the same, but like something about the scene, like the word, like the manipulation in like that scene where he's like talking to the doctor.
yeah,
Um, that scene that was the first scene, by the way, that I was already like really enjoying it, but
yeah,
like that scene I was like, whoa, okay, okay, this is like something special.
yeah,
We
yeah.
got to that scene. That was awesome. But that seemed, for I don't know, maybe I think, yeah, I think it might be because of the manipulation, but um, it kind of reminds me of the gas station scene in No Country
Yeah, yeah.
a
No, I
little
can
bit,
kind of see it. Like
just a little bit.
a lot of tension. Like this
Mm.
movie, one thing that really
It's
blew me
so
away was
intense.
yeah, like the how like just editing and like cinematography wise, it's like so masterfully constructed. It is so good at building tension. I think part of the reason for that, like not only because of like how many long takes there are and how the film utilizes silence really well, but also like
I love the
this,
long takes. They were so
yeah,
cool.
it like builds like up this like hypnotic effect, and also because all the horrible like fucked up scenes in this movie are shot almost the exact same way as like the mundane things in this
Yeah.
movie. It's like you never know when something horrible is about to happen because everything is shot like the same way. So like
Mm.
even when things are like mundane, there's still like this sense like this eerie like undercurrent that's like going through everything. And it utilizes simple things in like such a like potent way. Like even like minimal things. Like every time you see Takabe in his home, there's like this fucking like washing machine going off, this like ambient droning
Yeah, I
noise, and it
love
just
that.
like
I loved the sound design. I
yeah,
loved another comparison with No Country. The fact that there isn't much music. I mean, when there is in this film, it's more obvious, but there isn't
yeah,
much music. There's like a long stretch where there isn't any, but the actual sound design is is amazing. It's
mhm,
so incredible.
yeah. It's like even scenes that are supposed to be like mundane, they're still off-putting because of like the
Yeah.
sound design or how the scene is shot, things like that.
Mm. Just going back to the yeah, the actual cinematography. It felt like very voyeuristic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're watching in on them. It's so cool. Um, it actually reminds me of a film I'm probably gonna do for an Eggy Wegg. Um, not with you, Jim. When Mass comes back, probably. Sorry, this film, yeah, The Conversation.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
it has a lot of that kind of, not like the whole thing really. I think actually it's funny because voyeurism is like a huge theme of The Conversation, but it's actually like the actual like voyeuristic kind of cinematography is way more of a thing in this film. I guess when it's in The Conversation, it's supposed to, it isn't in it as much, so it like sticks out more, which is cool.
Mm.
But um,
No, that sounds
yeah,
interesting. I still need
it's
to check that
awesome.
one out.
Going back to, I was going to mention actually, going back to like the whole how like suspenseful it is. I love how in, oh my god, every scene with the main character and the antagonist, the protagonist and the antagonist, is like flawless. 10 out of 10,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Every scene so tense, so gripping.
Yeah.
Um,
Very. Yeah, it's really creepy.
and it's like you like hang on every word because because you know, obviously because you know he's like a, you know, he's like a master at like hypnotism. So like anything he says that sounds slightly off has
Yeah.
you like on the edge of your seat. It's amazing.
Hmm. Yeah, because things could just like go to the shitter at like any moment. It's
Mm.
awesome. Yeah. I think like you said, like that, I think like that scene with the doctor is like so fucking hypnotizing. And like that's the thing I think this movie is kind of built around, at least editing wise, is like it wants to like put you in a sort of trance and put you in the shoes of like the victims in this movie, right? Like when Mamiya is like actually hypnotizing whoever he's trying to hypnotize, like you kind of like feel it. And I noticed one thing
Mm.
that's really cool. There's like almost like a lot of abrupt like cuts in this film where like it's reaching like this climax of like tension, and then the film will like abruptly cut as if it's like trying to like snap you out of the trance, and it just
Yeah, I
goes through
love
like,
that.
yeah, and it just like keeps up like that tempo the whole time. It's like one of the like the coolest it has one of the coolest like flows I've seen like in any movie. Like the way the film's like constructed and just moves along is like really impressive
It's
to me.
incredible. This just came to me, and this is gonna sound silly, but like, hear me out. This is It's like the way this film is like directed and shot and like cut. It's like it's kind of like a fucked up like Ozu.
Oh yeah.
It's like a fucked up, the way that it's like there's a lot of just like kind of hanging about with the characters as they do their things. It's like, and it's like solitary, just like one shot of them, of just like the whole room, but
Hmm.
like, and like there are shots of where it's like the character like from like, and like kind of portrait shots of the characters where they're like looking directly into the lens. They're looking directly into the lens as they're talking to each other, but at the same time, those like single like shots of them like doing their things, it's like the camera's like moving about and shit.
Yeah, definitely. I can actually kind of see it. I didn't make that like parallel in my head until you mentioned it. I mean, I've only seen Tokyo Story, but like yeah, like you said,
Yeah,
like the way you just like
I mean, I love Ozu, but like it kind of is like you've seen one, you've seen them all.
yeah, for sure.
I've
Like
only
his
seen
style is
like
pretty
three. I've only seen
uniform.
three of them, but like I can already tell that it's like okay.
Hmm.
I feel like I've kind of already, even though I want to watch all the rest of his films, I kind of feel like I already have, if I'm being
Mm, yeah.
honest.
No, for sure. I mean,
And
some
I
directors
watched
are like that. It's
like,
not like a jab against them. It's just like,
yeah,
yeah,
like I've
some
seen
directors have a
Tokyo
very uniform
Story. I've
style.
seen Tokyo Story, An Autumn Afternoon, and Late Spring, and like, and it's so funny. Afternoon is basically like, it's basically the same plot as Late
Mm,
Spring, but like from a different character's perspective, basically.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
He retread like the same material a lot. Obviously, there's like other differences, but he retread the same material a lot.
It's kind of like
Anyway, we're kind of going off topic, but yeah,
yeah,
sorry, you go.
uh fuck, I actually forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, sorry.
God damn it. No, it's cool. I wouldn't be surprised if he was actually influenced by Ozu, though. To be fair, I mean, a lot of amazing filmmakers are. So, yeah.
Mm, that's
Also,
true.
another thing I really like about this film is just it also like even though like we were talking about how like a lot of the scenes are shot like very like voyeuristically and kind of like it's kind of like straight laced. There is like when there are like these elements of like surrealism that kind of randomly, especially in like the last leg of the movie, where like you'll get these like random
I
like kind of
love
like
that shit.
surreal cuts to other things, and like in another like thriller like horror movie, it might like be whatever, but because like it's so sparsely used in this movie, it's like it comes off like really strong and like you really feel it. Like when the characters, when the horror that's going on inside the character's head really like comes to life into the frame, like it really hits you. Like that scene where uh Takabe like walks in on his wife hanging from the fucking ceiling, like holy shit, that is like so
That
guttural.
got me so that like caught me off guard so hard. And oh
Yeah,
my god, and the scene in terms of like the editing, the scene I always think of is that bit where like his like wife's in bed, and then it's like a very quick cut where he reaches for the knife,
yeah.
and then it cuts to them like on the bus
Hmm.
with the kind of like intentionally like bad like green screen behind them.
Hmm.
It's like that's awesome.
No, no, it is.
That's that's like
Like
that's
the
so
quick
good.
cuts and like yeah, the whole like juxtaposing all those frames was really awesome. I think like also I like how the movie kind of leaves that whole thing up to interpretation. I think it's like it's supposed to represent almost like his subconscious desires, and this is getting into like the whole like thematic aspect of the movie and what it's trying to say. And like I completely missed that when I first watched it. But one thing that I found really interesting watching it again is that that one scene where like his right hand man, I don't remember his name, but you know who I'm talking about, the
Yeah,
doctor dude, was saying that a hypnotist can't make anyone do what they don't actually want to do. So like it can't make someone do something that would go like entirely against like their moral code or like values,
yeah. So
which makes
it's like he's yeah. It's like the hypnotist is trying to like actually dig that out of them.
yeah, which makes like everything that happen all the horrific shit that happens in the movie makes like everything much like so much more terrifying because then it's like the whole thing where he asks people like who are you, like who do you think you are, it's not like a literal thing, it's like him like asking like do you know yourself, because you may not think that you're capable of all these things and that these are things you want, but that subconsciously deep down like that you are capable of it and that you do want it, which is like where the real horror of the film comes from in my opinion. It's not like
Yeah,
just the murders, it's like holy shit, like this is things people actually wanted and that's actually like a part of themselves and that they didn't even realize. And that's part of like what makes the ending so fucked up too, is that Takabe like genuinely looks more relieved after like he kills his wife. Like he genuinely looks like a weight's been lifted off his shoulders at the end of the movie when he's at the diner. And that makes
yeah.
everything else like so much more fucked up because it's like then it gets into this like whole, like sort of commentary on like evil and shit, which is like so cool.
Mm. I was actually gonna just going back to um like the actual like hypnotism and the way it's done. Actually, I love how they established that. Oh my god, that amazing shot in the scene with the doctor. There's a few doctors in this movie, like the female doctor,
Yeah.
where he's like the antagonist is like trying to hypnotize her, and there's like the water like trailing across the floor, and then in that one like amazing, it's probably my favorite scene in the movie, that one amazing scene where like the two main characters are like confronting each other in that like cell,
Yeah.
um and like you're not sure if if the like hypnotism is working or anything, and then he just places, and then like water starts dropping on
Yeah.
the lighter,
Yeah.
and then before you know it's trailing across the floor, and that same imagery, and it like that's it's awesome.
Yeah, I fucking love that scene as well.
There's a lot of bits in this movie that make you like kind of like soy, but like in a in like a non-soy way,
Yeah, like in a
which doesn't make sense. It makes you like gasp.
yeah, no,
It like
definitely.
it like shocks you in a good way.
It's like incredible how like how much of a visceral reaction this movie can get out of you when it's like executed the way it is, you know? Like
Yeah,
everything is done in such like a matter of fact, like cold-blooded way. Like the whole scene with the police officers, like he just like it's played out so normally. Like he just shoots him there's no music, there's no like funny camera tricks, nothing. It's just this guy like walks up, shoots him in broad daylight, carries him into the fucking police station. It's like holy fucking shit, man. Like
yeah, I loved the scene.
yeah, it's awesome.
Hi guys, it's me, Paul McCartney. I accidentally ordered 4,000 PS5s. I don't I don't know what to say now. Um,
So how guys, how do I direct Cure? How do I direct it?
um, you you'd be like, what would like Ozu do if he was like fucked up and and instead of being a nice old man, he was like, fuck you,
He was like, "Fuck you guys."
fuck you. I'm making Birmingham story.
What would happen if Ozu went to Birmingham once?
Um, well, he's dead.
Well, yeah, well, okay. I mean, like,
But
what?
if you brought him back to life and took him to Birmingham, he'd
Well,
just die
Birmingham's always
again.
been a shithole. So, like, if he went when he was alive, it'd be the same shit.
I actually don't know about that. I actually
But
have no idea
Birmingham
if it,
wasn't always a
it
shithole.
at least is now. I don't know. I don't know that's a thing. I have no idea. But at the very least, I know it. I know it is now. So
Birmingham, so probably. Oh yeah. Also, like the general
Birmingham
like
story.
moving on from this fucking stupidity. Uh, like fucking. I think like the whole like aesthetic and vibe of this movie is really cool. Like just like the way things are shot. It's kind of like I don't know. If, I wouldn't maybe I wouldn't go so far as to say it's a noir, but like there are sort of like some noir elements in there. And I love how
Yeah,
like you
I
know
wouldn't.
like it makes like
Sorry.
cigarette smoke look so fucking cool. The
Yeah.
lighter is also like
Man.
it's kind of like
I was gonna say, have you seen In the Mood for Love? But you have.
yeah I have.
That's the movie where
Movie.
cigarette smoke looks the coolest. Like, I don't know how they made it look like that.
Yeah, it's tough to beat Wong Kar-wai when it comes to the vibes, to be honest,
True.
and making shit look awesome. But you know, this movie does a pretty good job. And like,
Mm,
yeah,
true.
like that whole like I always love it when like movies have like sort of like iconic imagery to go along with the film, like you know how Seven Samurai has the
Yeah.
flag. Not saying like that the lighter in this is like as
Yeah. The
iconic or anything. Yeah, exactly. It's just like a little cherry on top that I really love. Another scene I really liked. This was like I guess like another example of recurring imagery, but I liked how it's like a small little detail. But like in that scene we were talking about with the doctor, with the cup like tipping over and like the water flowing on the ground, and then in the next scene where like she's in the bathroom like ripping someone's face off, which awesome effects by the
oh,
way.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, that scene's
That looked
fucking brutal.
incredible.
Yeah, it looked amazing. Like when she was like all really unexpected too. The way it's executed is great. And then like it cuts to the sink and it's like overflowing, like as
Mm.
if like that whole thing Mamiya was talking about with like emptying like he emptied himself. It's like the same thing's happening with her and it's like exemplified through like the sink like overflowing with water. Like that was just like such a fucking awesome detail that I really
True.
liked. And yeah, I think like I just really appreciate how sort of like with No Country for Old Men, it's like just as a thriller, it's like a really good movie. And then like thematically, there's like this other bunch of cool stuff that you can like dig into. And I think like the movie's like fairly subtle. There's a lot of things that like you can infer. I saw like a whole review. I'm pretty sure you liked it. It's like someone
Yeah.
like someone fucking saw that like one of the books that were like in Mamiya's room like you can like tie into like the whole like what the movie's trying to say thematically. So there's like a bunch of cool like little things like that, little Easter eggs like that.
It's
Also,
clearly very like deliberated over
yeah, for
like the
sure.
whole thing.
Yeah. Also, like the ending, man, that's got to be like one of my favorite endings. It is so like
I
blink
didn't
and you'll
get it.
miss it, blink and you'll miss it type thing. Basically,
I think
when
I guess I blinked. I guess. Um.
yeah, so basically when like Mamiya died, he I don't know if you saw, but like when Takabe was shooting him, he did like an X formation with his fingers.
Did
Um,
he?
yeah, like
Oh shit.
yeah, and in his last moment, which basically meant that like Takabe was hypnotized, and since Mamiya died, Takabe like sort of like he like basically took on his role and like replaced him.
Mm.
So then that leads to him sort of doing the hypnotism that leads to his wife dying, and then the ending is supposed to be like Takabe has pretty much become the new Mamiya, and like that waitress who like takes out the knife at the last second, like she's hypnotized, so now she's gonna kill someone
Oh
else. So basically,
shit.
like the cycle has like continued, and these crimes are still gonna keep happening pretty much.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah, pretty wild ass ending. And I like how it's so subtle. Like once it happens, like the movie just ends. So
It
it's like,
treats
God
it
damn,
like
bro.
very matter of fact.
Yeah, like really casual. So yeah, I think that's basically everything I had to say about the movie. What about you?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't really have much to say. I'm so it's the
Hold on,
kind of
my
thing
headphones
where
cut out.
I really think I need to watch it again to like really wrap my head around it because it's very dense.
Yeah,
It's very dense. But you know what? I think it's a good discussion. Anyway.
for sure, bro.
Um. Yeah.
I'm sure you'll get more out of it on rewatch because that's what happened to
Oh
me.
yeah, yeah. I probably will. I already. It's like just we're talking about it now. It's like got better in my mind as well. It was like a low nine, and that's my rating, by the way,
Yeah,
low nine. And it's got better in my mind since we talked about it. It's like it probably it might get better. It might get better on rewatch. Can't say for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised.
hell yeah, man.
I already said there are like 10 out of 10 scenes there are 10 out of 10 scenes in the film. So
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, definitely. I think like you said, like your one criticism with some things being sort of like not as engaging. I definitely get that. And I feel like even while I was watching this the second time, I kind of got a bit of that. But I think like with
yeah,
context, even like now, even the fact that there's like more mundane moments like makes more sense to me in my head, and like the
yeah.
ways sort of like it makes it better, you know. So that's my one thing. But yeah, overall, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. Perfect Jimmy Boy rating.
Ooh,
Great, great,
yeah.
great movie.
Yeah, it was
Um,
it was cool having you on here,
yeah, no problem, man. I'll
Jimmy.
I'll do it anytime.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
you know me and
No, it
me
was
and you
cool.
are like one of the.
I gotta say though, it's fucked up what you did to Odesu.
Oh, fuck that guy, man.
I don't agree with it.
I don't
I don't
care.
agree with that. You know,
Well, he copied my
I get
fade.
you have beef, but I don't agree with that.
Well, first of all, he should be
It's
thanking
not
me because
on.
his daughter is really hot. And second of all,
Fucking
he's the one
hell,
who copied my flow with the Woo-Jin fade. So he shouldn't even be surprised that this happened to him, okay?
man. I
Don't
mean,
steal
you're
my
not
haircut.
wrong on all those things,
And
but
also, did he get naked? No, exactly. So,
did he?
no, he
No,
didn't. He
no,
didn't
he
get
didn't.
naked. That's the problem. I was the
Yeah,
only one
true. That's
naked
the
on
problem.
set.
That's why Woo Jim is in the right.
Yep, because I was
Woo
naked
Jim.
and Daesu wasn't.
True. That's true. He has his own. You have Jimmy's theme as well. What's Ode hum Odesu's theme? No,
I
you
can't.
can't.
I can't.
No, you can't. Jimmy's theme.
I prefer Joe Oldboy. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah. At least no. No, shut the fuck up. You can't say that.
I prefer
You
Joe
can't say
Oldboy.
that. I prefer Joe Oldboy to British Jimmy.
I agree. I actually agree with that take.
Yeah. It's fucked up what they did to you in English, bro.
I know. I can't believe I let them get away with that shit. Spike Lee, I'm coming for you.
Man, this is the
You
least
better
funny
watch
thing.
yourself with that Highland Low remake.
This is the least funny thing they've ever done.
It's
Um
hilarious. I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh, fuck.
Eggy Wegg out.
Eggy Wegg out.
Wah, wah, wah.